Recording Mrs. Ryan.
Right.
All right, Mrs. Ryan.
We're back.
There we go.
Lights.
Now we're really back. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello, welcome back.
Here we are.
I know this is so real. Hello there. My name is Jay Ryan. This is Nicole Ryan. We are the Ryans, and this is It's Tonight's Show.
Awesome.
Now, we have a guest here today whose name is Pete, but it's P-E-E-T. And how do you pronounce your last name? Guercio. But it's spelled interestingly. It's not as easy as just Guercio. G-U-E-R-C-I-O. But you have a specific way to remember it.
Mnemonic device.
Okay.
Cursing.
That's easy. That's good. Oh man, there was one the other day where it was much more convoluted, and I can't remember what the heck it was, but I was like, blah, 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 and it was like, meh.
Yeah, you couldn't get it.
I don't remember why. I don't remember who the guest was either.
Don
but apparently,
McHenry.
oh, that's not even what I was thinking of. But you're right, Mrs. Ryan. All right, welcome back. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday, September 24th, 2018. Once again, I am Jay. This is Nicole. We are the Ryans. Mrs. Ryan, we have a ton of stuff to do today. I don't even know that we're going to get to it all because our guest is pretty awesome, and he was very entertaining even in the, I'm going to call it a pre-interview, even though it turned into one, even though we don't like to do those. But this guy's funny. He's much older than he looks.
Yeah. in a nice
34.
way.
He's only 34. But I kept saying like, yeah, you kids, you 3D printing and all this other stuff. And it was like, oh no, I'm only a couple years younger than you.
You're not 18.
No, but I'm baby face. This guy, I don't know. I'm excited. So we've got a lot of stuff here. Let's start with today. Today was my dad's birthday a long time ago.
Happy birthday.
I know. Isn't that kind of neat?
Yeah.
So I posted on, I don't think I put it in the system, but I posted on the social one of his ads that he was actually in because the model didn't show up.
I love that
it was a
story.
Newport campaign way back in the day. But lately, obviously, he's been a part of our story and certainly the things we've been talking about. So I just wanted to acknowledge it. Also, Mrs. Ryan, we should talk about this weekend. What on earth did we do?
Oh, man. Every time I'm like, so much. Oh, I forget.
We had Breakfast Club, which was absolutely delightful.
Really wonderful this week.
Great turnout, great group, a little bit of everything. There's some PCA folks, some POC folks, some just no group that you can't put them in a box folks. Everybody was there, big commingling. It was very cool.
There was a neat couple that was just like, I saw them outside. They're like, we just were driving by. We'd never been up here. We had no idea.
They came in, joined us, stayed for the whole thing, got stickers and the whole bit.
I think Melissa was her name, I think.
I'm glad. I couldn't remember. I think they're
Hi, guys.
whatever.
Thanks for coming out. It was super nice to meet you.
It was very cool. And what I was just trying to say before was the entire group of all these different groups all there together, like one cohesive element. It was really nice because that's what we've been trying to push for this whole time.
Community and togetherness.
Yes, because historically, politically, there is some, there's a lot of whatever history and stuff. But like all of that, things change, people change, the landscape changes. It's just really nice to see all the groups playing nice. Now, on that same note, there was a Concours Los Angeles region PCA chapter Concours at the Peterson Museum this weekend.
Oh, yeah. A lot of our friends went.
Everybody, I think, was there. Everybody in town who was a Porsche person was there, except for us. We were not there. We had every intention of going. I was actually up till 1 o'clock in the morning redoing the stickers and the racing tape. You gotta dress up if you're gonna go to one of these things.
Prepared.
And then got up at 5 and showered and went down there and kept continuing prep and everything. And Mrs. Ryan was a few minutes behind schedule, and I'm only saying that because blah blah blah. And finally get down there, just about to go, dead battery. And I say that because had I done any of that stuff earlier, there would have been time and we could have just called AAA or whatever. we ended up just staying home. We were like, this was so much. I don't even know. It's a sign we're staying in.
It is what
and that's what we ended up doing.
This is how life goes. You just go with the flow sometimes.
Yeah. But we're really bummed we missed it. All of our friends were there. Fantastic photos. The venue looked incredible. It always is, the Peterson. And the event looked great. Put on
really
by
did.
a lot of people, a lot of volunteers, and then a lot of sponsors and stuff. It was pretty cool. I wish we could have made it. We did have every intention of being there. And it's funny because we didn't for a long time. There were other events and blah, blah, blah. Finally became available last minute. Okay, we've made a decision. We're going to go. So that's how life is.
Oh, well.
But with that, we may be doing the PCA Riverside Lake Arrowhead thing this weekend as sort of a backup. We didn't think we were going to do that either. So, we'll figure it out.
It's a neat idea. I
Anyway,
look forward to driving
hellos.
with you, sir.
Mrs. Ryan, there's a quick thing here. Viewer mail. Whee!
Yay, viewer mail.
This comes to us from Tori Alonso.
Tori.
I thought I knew what it was, and I do.
Love that guy.
I'm very excited for this. Okay. I didn't know what this was. I think a lot of people may not still. You'll want to slit your wrist by chapter 2, but stay with it. Miss you guys. T.
Can't wait to read it.
Well, there's a story behind this. This is a fantastic, I'm saying fantastic because everyone I know who's read it says it's nothing shy of fantastic. New York Times bestseller, The Art of Racing in the Rain. Now, you see there's a picture of a golden retriever on the front there. This probably isn't exactly what you think it's going to be about. It's certainly not what I thought it was going to be about, although it also is at the same time. But what's interesting in our little community is that there's a fellow we know who's directing the movie adaptation of this, and that is Jeff Zwart.
Really?
Really, really. So that's pretty cool.
Kudos, guys.
Tori,
I'm so
thank you.
stoked to follow the story. Tori, thanks.
I was talking to him the other day when he'd ordered this. He was waiting for Amazon to arrive, and then it arrived, and then he disappeared off of text and whatever. And he read it in the one day. He just couldn't put it down.
Well, I'm stoked. I'm going to jump into that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank you,
dude.
buddy. That means a lot. Very cool. And to Jeff Zwart, who we can't wait to see what's going on with this project and the project.
Yeah.
I'd love to have him here to talk about it, and then can't wait to see the end result.
He's always super fun when I meet him, like in an understated, not showy way. I can't wait to see what his mind does with film options. Stoked.
Yeah. I mean, his commercial directing career surpasses anyone I've ever seen or heard about. We've met Jeff a handful of times, but we don't know him. We don't know you, Jeff, but we would love to have you come in here. And I think that he would. He's local and certainly part of the community. We should do that. That
would be great, Jeff. I would really like to see you again.
Reach out to Jeff Zwart.
Last time I saw him was at Luftgekühlt.
Say it one more time.
Luftgekühlt.
You did it. You did it both times. Right? I liked the enunciation the first time, though. It was like Luftgekühlt.
I got a little hiccup in my throat.
Perfect. All right, Mrs. Ryan,
German.
Let's see. Really quick, we have a new segment.
Oh.
That's right. And we're calling it Posse Break with 3PP. Roll it, Hal.
Hey, Ryans. It's Jim and Mauricio.
Hey, so it's the PNW chapter of porschelife. Throwing out some love to you guys.
That's right.
We'll see you guys on the 26th and give you a little taste of how we do it up here.
That's right. Hope you have a great day. Take care.
Woo! They
Those
are the
guys.
greatest.
So that's what I think we forgot to mention. Was it? Oh, it wasn't this. It was last week, wasn't it? That those guys came down. Ugh, they're so awesome. The 3-pedal posse up there in NorCal. Actually, I don't know where they are. I think they're actually in Seattle, right?
Seattle,
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Marisa likes it down here and wants to maybe move here, was the conversation I had with Jim.
And they're coming here. They're going to be in studio in October, though, right?
Yeah.
Someday in October. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, next month.
Let's go back to the OG, the East Coast feed, and check in with Steve Kaz and the Danbury Chive.
It's Ryan. This is a live East Coast feed coming to you from Massachusetts, formerly Riverside Park, now Six Flags New England. We are here with the usual cast of characters. We have Megan Kaz, me and Chris are new, and we got Jazzy J, as you know. We wanted to share a little love from the East Coast feed next to the Joker ride.
With our faces.
With our faces painted. It could be an adulting 24/7. Love you guys.
Adulting 24/7. Wow, that's very cool. So I didn't watch that. I just saw the picture, and I assumed Great Adventure because that's where he goes all the time, and they have all the Batman rides and all that stuff. He was actually at Riverside Park. Now, I've talked about Riverside Park.
Yeah.
It did not used to be a big amusement park like that. I believe it's actually a Six Flags now. But it used to be a small little mom and pop, old-fashioned amusement park. And that's where we used to do our charity events for the Hole in the Wall gang for Paul Newman's charity.
That's so neat.
Yeah. Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
It used to be really, really neat. And there was a racetrack there, like a car racetrack.
There?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Still there, probably, I'm assuming. Pretty cool.
I couldn't get over the face paint. I was distracted by adults with face paint. That's impressive.
All right, Mrs. Ryan, it's time to ask the question that's on everyone's minds. What's going on?
I wanted to add in really quickly on the birthday front. Today is my Aunt Karen's birthday, so happy birthday to her and Richard. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Happy birthday to Aunt Karen.
Happy
here
birthday.
in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna text her later.
Okay.
But in the meantime, okay, I read a story this morning that was really not. It was nice, and like I want to tell everyone it's about 9/11 centers and like they need more dispatchers and stuff. But what it really made me like, what jumped out at me was how grateful I am for the Caltrans people that we know and our mountain family up there, because it's such a hard job that these people do, and they're constantly like prepared for like fire, police, blah blah blah, like the 9/11 people. So it just made me rabbit hole about all the things our Caltrans people must see all the time, and
and the
what
stuff they see, I can't even imagine.
Have to be ready for, and we try to be super responsible when we drive, and we always say hi to them, but like not everyone. Some people don't know. It's their first time. And so for all of our guys up there, like, thanks for thinking when we don't always. It's just neat.
That's awesome of you to say any of that. I think it's worth noting that, we go out to this Angeles Crest and people hear us talk about it all the time, and the people that have been there know what a beast it can be. And people who don't know that it's very, very pretty. There's very few turnoffs, and none of them go anywhere immediately. There's no cell reception for 30 miles, 50 miles, something like that, for the whole way, pretty much.
Big deal.
That's why we have a CB. No joke.
Yeah.
10-4, good buddy, just for emergencies. And it's treacherous. And you don't want to be stuck. And if you are, you should be praying that you're only stuck and having not, either gone into something hard or gone off something very high.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a beast. It's definitely to be respected, and that's why we have our whole thing, Respect the Crest.
Yeah.
It's twofold for us because of course you have the Angeles Crest and the Porsche Crest, but certainly Respect the Crest is a hashtag that we follow and push wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did that one. That's a good one.
Sure. And volunteer if you can about look 911, look it up and volunteer if you can.
For the call centers you're talking about.
Yeah,
right?
for the dispatch, the call centers, like this just made me aware of that whole world that I don't know enough about. And if there's a way I can get involved, I want to. But in the meantime.
And it's only going to get worse because things are getting crazy out there.
Yeah, it's getting crazy, and everyone with cell phones and the blah, blah, blah. So.
Good point.
Everyone, it's just neat, and I want to do something for it. So keep in mind.
Love it.
Apparently, though, there's a new philosophy. I don't know how this interplays, but I thought it was interesting. There's a new philosophy, like there's books and stuff, like it's part of the study of philosophy that they're calling transhumanism. Have you heard about that?
No. Was this where we become morph into machines? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the social structure and the moral ethics of what that looks like.
Interesting.
It's this new philosophy. It's fascinating. And doctors are the ones that are like the first ones to be like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Don't replace shit that doesn't need to be replaced. Like, I don't want that to be what I'm about as a doctor, is essentially what a lot of people are saying. And so it's creating this weird divide.
You know my position on AI.
Yeah.
Just started watching the incredibly popular Elon Musk episode of the Joe Rogan podcast. There's a guy who's against AI more than me.
Yeah.
And there's a guy who certainly knows more than me, although I have a feeling that we're getting our information from the same place, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
His whole the whole idea of it seems to be almost directly in line with this, and his push for I can't remember the name of his company, but they're doing a new thing where you basically
like link something or human link.
That's your
Genolink, something.
I think that is, you're very close to it if that's not actually it. Where you're melding the biological human body with the capabilities of a computer, the problem solving and not problem solving, but the computing power, etc., and cognitive abilities of a computer.
Yeah,
it's a Pandora's box to me. It's Jurassic Park. It's all of the things. Of course this thing is glowing at us. It's going, oh, you could do this. Why don't you just do it? Yes, it's very attractive. I sound like Jeff Goldblum even as I'm describing this behavior. But I still say don't do it. I don't think we're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not a religious person or anything like that. I don't think we're supposed to do it. It does not make sense to me. I do not see the benefit. And by the way, that is speaking based on present experience with the AI as far as they've gotten it. I do not agree with these Netflix algorithms, I'll call them, because they don't work for me. I can't find what I want. Give me a list.
Yeah, I think it's definitely super nebulous, and I am stoked to talk to you after you finish the Elon episode because it's really interesting.
I haven't even gotten to the pot part yet. They smoke pot in this episode together, and they just now poured the whiskey, and I think they're enjoying some whiskey.
Yeah.
But he's already well against AI and talks about how I was warning you. I mean, he's talking like it's a done deal, and that's how I feel too, like it's a done deal already.
Intelligent, but in touch with his emotional brain.
Is that true?
Kind of guy, yeah.
Wow.
I saw a ton of that in that interview specifically.
Another thing I did see that and I don't want to stay on this, and I'm so sorry to hijack the whole thing to talk about this interview. Apparently we needed to. He's incredibly thoughtful about his answers. Joe Rogan will ask a question, and we will sit in silence for a moment while we allow the guest a moment to think about and answer the question. And this is so refreshing to me.
Yeah. Elon's the kind of guy that will give thought to his answers also. So that interview, they play off each other really well, and that there's thoughtful questions and thoughtful answers that I don't always think are in line with what Joe's expecting.
There were a handful of times where, even this, as far as I've gotten, where Elon will stop talking and there will be silence again, and Joe Rogan will just be like, wow.
He said one time, he's like, that's above, my brain doesn't, I don't have the bandwidth for that.
Over at Jamie. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Mrs. Ryan, what's next?
Okay. Skip that
it's been
one.
Like 15 minutes already.
Okay.
Not because of you.
Yeah, whatever. Something super neat that I thought, kind of in that line of like, you never know what you'll find that can help you learn about whatever you're trying to find
good
about.
For you. I love this. You never know where it's going to come from, you mean?
Yeah, like you never know how knowledge you find can apply to your world if you look at it the right way. Sure. Humans and octopus, I thought it was octopi, but it's apparently not. It's octopuses. But their brains are super different, like inherently, except for this one part that let's see. They use similar proteins for binding serotonin, which is a big interplay with emotional capabilities in the nerve cells that transmit messages about emotions and stuff.
Interesting.
So they're giving octopuses MDMA, ecstasy, and they're learning.
This is interesting. Do they need it? I feel like they're already there. You know what I mean? Like there's some animals and they're oh no, I'm listening. Sorry.
I don't think they're one of them because they're typically very standoffish creatures, but when they gave them this ecstasy, they became like a more lovable thing.
They're incredibly intelligent. I think probably more than anybody knows. I think that they're so intelligent that I think people probably, there's somebody out there who knows how intelligent they are. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's almost like that's why we don't know. Otherwise, we couldn't eat them and all of the other things.
They're very, very intellectual, but they're emotionally protective. Like
I see. And you're saying this unlocks that part.
Yes, and it's making them more nice to each other and like interactive with each other. They're usually not even talking to each other. So
crazy. Sounds like weed for the sea.
Yeah.
Weed of the sea.
It all interacts with the same shit. And so knowing that humans and octopuses share that piece of the brain gave me a good insight into like how that could affect our systems too.
I've never done MDMA, but that's another one that people say if you do it right and take the right amount and all that stuff, that'll unlock your world and explain it all. You get right down to the source code, essentially.
It seems to unlock a lot
You
for a
meet
lot
God,
of people.
all that stuff, you know.
Yeah, so you never know. And then my last one.
And finally,
Comedy Central's getting back in the stand-up game. Did you? I don't always watch them, but they.
I haven't watched Comedy Central since, I don't even know, Politically Incorrect and Saturday Night Live reruns were on.
Yeah, it's been a while, so I was super excited to read that they're back in business with two of my favorites, Al Madrigal and Bill Burr.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, bringing like specifically stand-up based programming, like a stand-up series and specials.
Interesting.
Yeah, and those two guys are.
So those guys producing?
Yeah, they have a company
two different
together.
You're kidding. Bill Burr and Al Madrigal together?
Yeah. I think it's like all good things.
Am I late to the party?
It's like all things comedy or all good things or some shit.
I had no, but they're from two different places. You know what I mean? Al's from the Daily Show
Yeah.
crew, and wow, no kidding. That's awesome.
Yeah, and Comedy Central was like, we like what you guys together stand for, like your brand. So they're going to boost it up. I'm
incredibly excited. Al Madrigal's great on the, is it I'm Dying Up Here? He's great on that show.
That's what I wanted to say. That's what it felt like when we were all talking with Pete earlier. Like it was that backstage
I agree.
shit,
And I was about to ask him if he watches that show, and then I figured he did, but I'd rather talk about it out here.
Yeah.
Is that it, Mrs. Ryan?
That's it.
And that's been What's Going
Dun,
On.
dun, 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 dun,
Dun. All right. It's been 20 minutes. Holy crap.
Uh-oh.
So much for speeding it along. All right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Pete. How do you say your last name? Guercio. The thing is, it's incredibly simple. There's nothing wrong with it. Guercio. For some reason, I get tripped up on the spelling and the whole bit. But I find that other people remember it better, and then I'm the fucking buffoon.
Yeah.
If it's this way.
Yeah.
So I take one for the team.
Okay.
No. All right, we'll be right back, and Pete will be in here. More to come right after this.
Life could be a dream. Life could be a dream. Do, 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 shaboom. Life could be a dream. If I could take you up in paradise up above. If you would tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, and open we'll meet again. Boom, ding dong, ding dong, a lang, a lang, a lang. Oh, whoa, whoa, bip, a bip, a dip. Oh, life could be a dream. If only all my precious plans would come true. If you would let me spend my whole life loving you. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Every time I look at you, something is on my mind. If you do what I want you to, maybe we'd be so fine. Oh, life could be a dream. Shaboom, if I could take you up in paradise up above. Shaboom, and tell me, darling, I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, and hope we meet again. Boom, boom, boom. Life could be a dream. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Shaboom, if I could take you up in paradise up above. Shaboom, and tell me, darling, I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, and hope we meet again. Boom, boom, boom. Ding dong, ding dong, a lang a lang a lang a lang a oh, bip, a bip, a bip, a oh, life could be a dream. Life could be a dream. Do, 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 shaboom.
All right, we're here with Pete Guercio. Good to see you, man.
Likewise.
Did I say it right?
You did.
All right.
You're 1 for 5. It's a good start.
But in the right direction.
Yeah. You head in the right direction.
Let's see. There we go. There's your cameraman. We're all set up. We do all this here. How's it going, man? Pleasure
Real
to meet
good.
you.
Likewise.
I really enjoyed speaking with you earlier, and that's not bullshit. I noticed you started to get into like, oh fuck, he's performing, and I was like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And that's when we were like, all right, let's just get out there and
when
do
I
the
get
thing.
excited about something, I go into it. I don't know how not to. I don't even realize.
I also don't mean it in a negative way at all. It was awesome.
It's not what your face says.
I have a negative face sometimes.
I don't believe a word.
Really? Oh, well, you can
Sitting
definitely
on a
believe
throne
a word.
of lies.
You can definitely believe a word.
I believe it. I believe it.
The one thing we do push here is authenticity and shit. So it's like if there was really an issue, I'd be like, hey, listen, sorry, that was weird before when you farted on the couch.
You
and
gotta
didn't
go.
even acknowledge it.
Was that weird? I thought
I'm
it
saying
absorbed
it now.
in.
I thought I'm saying it now. We're okay.
You wait till the cameras are on, and then you call me out on the flatulence. I don't appreciate that one bit.
Oh, comedy.
You're booked through Jonathan, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, awesome. I'm a huge fan of Jonathan. How do you guys know each other?
I think we met when I hosted a couple of
I barely know
pilots.
him.
Well, I can't remember when it was,
He's
but I
neat.
think we met when he was working at MTV.
Oh, yeah.
I hosted a couple pilots for them over the years, and I think the first one that I hosted was when he was there. I hosted a game show pilot, cast and directed by Michael Showalter.
No shit.
Whoa.
Like
Yeah.
Tonight Show. And,
Yeah.
The Real Tonight Show.
And he just directed The Big
Seth's-
Sick.
He did?
Kumail's. Yeah, he did Kumail's movie.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Won an Oscar,
he's
didn't
a murderer. Yeah.
I had no idea. He's
he,
Seth's a writing partner too, right?
Yeah, he cast me and then directed a game show pilot. It was originally called Would You Rather up until like the day before we shot, but then they discovered that was trademarked by
Yeah.
the like on the
College.
back of the toilet book. Like, would you rather,
That's
you know,
what you're
do
talking
this,
about,
that?
right? The game? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I learned it in college.
So apparently some company holds the trademark, the company that makes like
That's
the books that you
crazy.
read while you're on the toilet. So they switched it from Would You Rather to Best Worst Choice, which is the hardest 3 words to say.
No.
Also, just to you can't.
Yeah.
There's no order to that.
Welcome back to Best Worst Choice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So-
everyone's favorite game show.
Yeah. So yeah, that was really fun. That was my first really hosting thing, that game show pilot with him. It was really fun.
But now you're like a professional host where
Like
you
a
host like
professional.
everything all the time.
I could take your job at any second.
if
If you slip up one syllable, bro.
you'd have to move
We're
here and marry
switching
her,
seats.
but that's
That's
the
right.
only thing.
Yeah.
That's the job
Sorry.
security
Quick
on this one.
annulment, and I'll slide right in.
Oh, that sounds so unappetizing.
It's an all-in deal, though, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
I don't know where to go first. You just said right before, you're from Chicago, and I've never met anyone from Chicago that I didn't get along with. And
We're
I
the
don't mean
best.
like get along with like, oh, they're a riot. Like I'm friends with Dan Aykroyd. And I mean, there's something about the straight shooterness. Maybe there's a New Yorkism. There's something just about no bullshit.
Uh-huh.
And you seem to have that, maybe?
Yeah, I guess it's a Midwest
LA,
thing.
you know?
Yeah, I don't know. There isn't the Midwest isn't like showbiz. We don't have a lot of industries that are like pretend to be someone else. We have like put hot dogs in a box and stuff like that. Like there's no
It's a more wholesome environment and that type of thing?
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I didn't really have any. I only now have a frame of reference now that I live here. When I was growing up, I was just like, yeah, this is just how life should be. Like people, when you say you're going to be there at 5, you're there at 5. Stuff like that. Here, it's like, no, not so much. Yeah.
But you've been out here for a long time, right?
Yeah, I've been out here 10 years, 11 years.
Oh, so you started doing stand-up in Chicago?
I started in Denver. I went to University of Denver
Wow.
for school. And then I started after I graduated school. Did it there for a year and then moved out here.
How was that? How did you decide?
I got really, really lucky because a lot of smaller markets for stand-up are bad. They just don't have the talent pool. It's just, and Denver, I started in this nice little pack of killer comedians in Denver. These people found each other at this bar called the Squire Lounge, which is this this dive of a dive of a
perfect.
dive, and it looks like 4 bars duct taped together, and it's in a sketchy part of town.
Fantastic.
But every Tuesday night there was an open mic, and it was the best comics in the state. Adam Caton Holland and Andy Orvidal and Chuck Roy and Ben Roy and Greg Baumhauer, and a handful of them now have a TV show, a true TV called Those Who Can't. It's the show about teachers who are all fuck-ups. Maybe you guys haven't seen it.
Oh, wow.
But, I think they're in their 3rd season, and it's Andy Orvidal and Adam Caton. It's
But
like
it's a
the guys
scripted
who were
show?
yeah
on True TV.
yeah
Fucking
They
bullshit.
switched everything around.
Bullshit.
I met with some of those comedy guys like right before we got married, and like it's all different now.
yeah.
But it just, I don't understand it.
What?
It seems like it's counterproductive programming. It's a scripted show on True TV.
Yeah, it's true. That's why there's no E.
Oh, I see. Is that how we're? Okay.
If it was an E, then
we'd have to hold people.
Well,
to
didn't
it.
True TV start as like car chases and stuff?
Here's the thing: I've only ever worked on one unscripted show in my entire life, and when True TV launched, that show I worked on was picked up on it. So it was called Arrest and Trial. It was a Dick Wolf show, but it was not like Law and Order. It was the real life Law and Order.
I was gonna say, I think my murder shows, some of them were on True TV at one point.
That's what it used to be. Nothing but that. It was all reality.
It was like the
real
answer
TV.
to like reality TV isn't
Yes.
reality. We're true reality.
Yeah.
And it was like raw footage from car chases and stuff. But now it's
Now we're
like
just
all
doing
comedy,
scripted
which
programming.
great. It's better than car chases. I don't want to be in a car chase show.
That's cool. I just
And
didn't
car
realize
chasing or
there was
being
another
chased.
rebrand.
Yeah. They have unscripted and scripted, and so I started with those guys, the guys who were on Those Who Can't. They were like sophomores and juniors in the comedy scene when I was just coming in as a freshman. So I got to be in this nice little world of like I had killers to look up to and who would come up to me and go, "Hey, the whole middle part of that bit is horrible. Don't do that bit." Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Cut out the fat.
Good comedy like pedigree above you to like nurture you through it. That's really cool.
Because there are lots of open mics where everybody's just super supportive of everybody. It's like, you need to be told that the middle of that bit is horrible by somebody
There's
who's
no
good.
growth otherwise.
Yeah.
You're in a great support group.
Right.
But there's no growth.
I don't want a teacher who goes, "That was great." I want them to go, "It could be better." That's how I want to be better at
Here's
this.
where
So,
you can work. Yeah.
Yeah, I started the Squire Lounge was like starting a video game on hard mode. It was like dive in. If you are not funny, we will boo you off the stage. And it was
like a
great.
Blues Brothers moment.
Yeah, it was really tough right away. Like, get funny or leave. And I was like, great, that's what I want.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you always been that way? Like sink or swim? Like just fucking toughen up and just do it?
I don't want to. If I'm gonna do it and I want to like put the time and the effort into doing this, I don't want to be.
Certainly for this, and you've been doing stand-up for 12 years, so you're clearly fucking in it, and this is what you're doing.
Yeah.
He's been doing stand-up for 12 years, by the
Crazy.
way. But young face, right? Wasn't I? Seriously.
Which camera do I mug into? 3 or
Anyone you
4?
want. Oh, 3 for you.
Hey, what's
yeah,
up?
there it is.
Hey.
It's
happening. 12 years. Started when I was 2.
Well, I guess that's what I'm getting at, though, is did you always have that? Is that part of your personality? I mean, is that how you are with everything?
The grit?
Yeah, I guess.
Yes.
Really?
Totally. Yeah.
You just, I'm going in all bore.
I want to. Yeah. If I'm going to do this, why would I half-ass it? I before I ever did stand-up, I actually sang lead vocals in 2 rock bands.
Whoa.
One that I started and one that...
Can you sing? I mean, rock band, I'm asking because it's kind of, you don't have to be able to sing.
Optional.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi's pretty famous. Awful.
Dude's got enough hair that he doesn't need to sing well.
Fair enough,
Let's
yeah.
respect. Come on now.
He was on Ally McBeal and he chopped it all off.
Really?
That's when I worked with
I
him.
never watched Ally McBeal.
It's so good.
Really?
It was in the 90s. I don't know about now.
Oh, okay.
I didn't mean to segue that and take it
No,
everywhere.
let's do the rest on Ally McBeal.
Okay, and then The Practice was another David E. Kelly show.
I'll
The Boston
stop
Public
talking.
might be
I'll
interesting.
Stop talking.
No.
I did see the one
Great
scene
show.
that Ally McBeal that Robert Downey Jr. did.
There you go.
Yeah, I
was
did see
there too.
that. In I don't know why I saw that, but he had this huge long monologue, and he just ripped through the whole thing. He'd not a pause, not a.
I think he won an Emmy for that monologue, as a
Really?
matter of fact. Yeah, and
What doesn't he
sadly
win
they
an
had to
Emmy for?
fire him. That was David E. Kelly was a zero. That was when he hired him. It was a zero tolerance.
He's
thing
so good
behind the scenes.
He's just so good.
So good. And he's
undeniable.
Iron Man now, by the way.
Yeah. Well, now I mean he's almost not. He's
I hate
almost
to.
done.
I was going to say I hate to switch gears on you. Where do you fall on the whole Iron Man, Marvel-y kind of that whole universe?
Pro?
You're into it.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not like, oh my god, I have to see every single movie and I know all the canon. Oh my god, but I'll go see him. Yeah,
you are into it.
I didn't see the second Thor.
Well,
yeah,
you're
I like
deeper
him.
than me. I loved the
I've
first
seen
Iron
most
Man
of them.
after being prepared to not
the
like it.
first one's so good.
So good.
Oof.
Being prepared to not like it. The second one I watched because the first one was so good, it was effing atrocious.
Yeah.
I gave the third one a shot because I heard it was better than the second
And
one.
it wasn't.
I thought it was better than
Really?
the second one. Better than the second
Bar
one.
was really low.
Not as good as the
I didn't
first
mind
one.
the second one just because Mickey Rourke. He's so good.
Oh, okay.
He's
the
so
octopus.
good.
Yeah. You're right about that.
He's so good.
But the rest.
You ever seen oh no, what's it called? It's Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dennis Rodman. Double team.
Yeah, it's not Johnny Mnemonic. No, it's
it's double team.
Oh, it is double team.
And
yeah.
the villain is Mickey Rourke, and it's the greatest movie.
It's like
You have to
1992
see it.
or
yeah,
something.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman is like an arms dealer.
Are they in
and
space too?
No, what movie
Came out
did
at the
you
same
see?
time as Space Jam. I think I confused them because they were basketball guys, and I was like, I'm not interested in either one.
Dennis
Yeah.
Rodman is like an arms dealer, but every reference they make is that he looks like a basketball player, and wouldn't it be great? Like they're in an airplane
Like
and they
you're a tall
fall
guy.
out of an airplane, and one of the gadgets he has envelops them in a basketball. They're like, just in case you're not sure that it's Dennis Rodman, it is. Like, oh
We
my
got him,
God.
folks, and
Yeah.
here he is.
Yeah, and he's all like tatted up in earring dad, and Jean-Claude Van Damme's like, you look like a carrot with earrings because he has orange hair. It's just the dumbest movie in the world. It's the greatest. There's
Is
like a
Jean-Claude
training
Van Damme,
montage.
like, heavy Chinese.
He's from Brussels. Did I do it? That wasn't a Chinese accent.
I heard
was it?
how many. You like an egg roll?
I didn't say Leica.
That's what I heard.
All right. Oh my God, you're gonna be in big trouble, and I am guilt-free.
That's really. That's how I heard it. So that was my own brain
You
translating
look
it that
like
way.
it. Yeah, but I said like a
That's what I heard.
carrot with earrings. There was an actual A in my sentence.
I was like,
You
Rika.
added it for the sake
Rika.
of comedic
Oh, that's
racism.
terrible. You're right. You're 100% right.
Oh
That's
my
awful.
God.
You can't do that stuff these
No,
days.
you or any days really.
No. In the old days, you could do it.
Oh,
It wasn't.
okay.
It was never
I
right.
wasn't alive.
You're so young. That's why you're just a kid.
14, bro. I've only known a world of when racism isn't acceptable.
Baker's dozen years in this industry.
Yeah.
Only 14 years old.
Started stand up in diapers.
Man. All right, so you're fun. We know that. I told you that out there. I was like, you're really fun. You're material. All right. So I asked you something. I don't know how we got on it, but you started doing like the type of material you do when you're doing stand up.
Yeah.
And
Because I think
you're
your
really
questions were like,
fun.
who are you? How do I say your name? And what's your comedy
What's
like?
your mom like?
Yeah. Social security number. What do you got?
Totally.
Yeah.
Your material and stuff just seems like it's a fun show. Like it's not that you're there to break politics and
No.
gender barriers and all that stuff. Like you are there to just have fun, which
Yes.
we need right now.
Well, I have found that because I've written lots of different kinds of material. Am I a quick one-liner person? Am I a long-form story person? And I've tried lots of different things to see what do I really like. And the formats that I like are different. Some of them are 2-minute observational bits, and some of them are big performance things, and some of the characters. But the things that I found, the material that I like the best and what works best is when I come from a place of enthusiasm about something. When I'm excited about something, I enjoy doing it on stage.
And that's the positivity, because that, of course, comes straight through.
Yeah, I want to just make people smile and happy, because I really naturally am a pretty happy person, and I
you?
want to share that. Yeah,
Naturally, that's your thing.
This is a good question,
I'm
and this has
totally
nothing to
serious.
do with
really,
you.
you're like
This has nothing to do
you
with
enjoy
you.
life.
Because I'm not.
This is our.
Wow.
This is now we're getting into what this podcast is generally all about, life stuff. With no. This is really good.
I need
so
to
much
lighten up.
sighing
This is
now.
really good. Are you inherently a happy person? Like, do you wake up and you're one of those, like, I'm just out of bed and here's how I'm going to attack
I'm
the day?
not like rainbows and sunshine, and I'm gonna drink marshmallows. I'm not like that.
Okay.
But I'm like.
You don't have a hard time with it.
No, I've always had a pretty happy disposition. I mean, my parents told me that I was silly and happy when I was 4. He's
in comedy for like some other reason. Most people it's to fix the damage.
No,
You're just
yeah.
like, no, I'm going to make the world a better place.
I'm pretty much damage free, thank God. And I'm not saying that but then I leave and I'm like, they fooled. I fooled them. I actually have lots
Going
of
to your stripper job.
animals under my house or whatever. No, I'm like, I've been very fortunate that like I came up in like a very loving, happy, supportive family with like brilliant parents who adore each other and me, and I like my sister, and I've had some like trauma and sad things, but I was.
Let's talk about that.
All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it real quick. Which uncle do you want to hear about first?
Oh no, that kind. I think that you're attacking this thing from the right place, and far be it from me. You don't need my approval, but just as
I
somebody,
do. That's why I'm here.
Thank you very much.
That's
As
very
someone
incorrect.
Who is a
Don't cover your mouth laughing. What are you
I
doing?
can't help it. My teeth are so big.
You don't have big teeth. What are you talking about? You think you have big teeth?
Whatever. Yeah.
I don't think that's very incorrect, but all right.
Cool.
She has self-conscious issues about the two in the
Everything.
front here.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
But
think
it's
it just
only
makes your
self-conscious.
smile like big and bright.
Yeah.
That's your problem with your face? I got a big smile. That's the problem.
That's your
Jesus Christ.
I heard it.
I got a long list.
Really,
Yeah.
that's
not on
that's
it.
the luxury. That's a pretty good. You're
Let
like,
me tell
my
you where to
smile
start.
is too big. You're like, good Lord, that's pretty good.
Well, I think that's a nice add-on to I'm not a very positive person.
You have a rainbow shirt on. How are you?
I do love Hawaii.
Well, who doesn't? Who's like,
I
fuck
got it then.
Hawaii. That place sucks.
No one I know.
I hate it. I don't like Hilo. I'll say that, but I do like Hawaii. You know Hilo?
It's on the Big Island.
It is.
Yeah, I haven't been there.
Welcome back to Hawaii Talk.
We've
Hilo's
done episodes.
Hilo's a little weird. Everywhere else is lovely that I've been anyway.
All right.
Let's
Wow.
bash
All right.
Hawaii for a few minutes, shall we?
No.
No, I'm trying to. You're deflecting from your positivity, but it's a thing that we talk about a lot on this show. It's sort of the only reason we do this whole show. It was, we thought she was going to die. We thought I was going to die. Life got different. She used to rep comedians. I don't even know if you know that. She used to be a publicist for everybody on this wall, and names a lot bigger than that too. So like we're from your world. I don't know if you knew that previously. This whole thing was where we ended up, after a life reshuffle and whatever.
Wow.
So when somebody's coming into comedy without all the damage or whatever, and I don't judge the damage, a lot of us are. But you're doing a different thing, and you're fun and you're light, and you're like, hey, I want these people to have an enjoyable night out, because maybe things aren't all that perfect in their lives or the world. That to me is like way different than I'm fixing my own things and I'm pushing my own buttons because I need to do this. Yeah, all of the different stuff. You may have those as well.
Yeah, I mean, clearly I like want attention from people, and just like any performer does, I like when, I don't know, it feels. I like making I like making 3 or 4 people laugh in a group with friends, and it's just that magnified. It's just more of that. I like making people happy. I don't know. My mom always said when I was little, she's like, you just wanted to please everybody. I thought you'd either grow up to be a game show host or a gigolo.
Whoa.
And
she was right.
I've already hosted multiple game shows, and I'm currently hosting one.
Yeah.
And on the other side of that, I've signed NDAs with all my clients, so I can't get into the other side.
can't
But
talk
she
about
was
the other side.
100% right. Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Good mom.
pretty
good.
impressive.
Speaking of your mom, no, I'm just kidding.
That's
are
a new
your folks
segment.
still alive?
Speaking of your mom,
Are your
yes,
folks
they
still
are.
alive?
Yes, they are.
Are you good relationship?
Yes,
You said that
love
they were
them,
very
adore
encouraging.
them. Every time I talk to them, I feel more like it's just luck. I just got lucky. My parents are
Do
like,
they feel the same way about you? They must.
can we get them on Skype?
Yeah,
How do we?
let's dial it
let's
up
call
right
it
now.
here.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'd like to talk to you.
Yes, they do. They
Skype,
totally do.
they're actually here. Let's bring them in.
Hey, Mom. No, they're like proud and happy, and yeah, they're great. I just got lucky. Like my parents like adore each other and love me, and they're like smart, great people with like interesting jobs and great brains.
How many
like,
kids in the family?
Just me and my older sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's very cool. What'd she do? She like
She
normal
is,
dentist or something?
She's
Clown.
brilliant. She is a literary translation doctor.
Wow.
So she went to Brown
Yeah.
and has a PhD, and she does translation Spanish poetry mostly.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah, she's
That's
This is
impressive.
insanity.
yeah,
It's amazing.
She's pretty bright
You must have a brain on for that sort of
she's
thing.
got a hell of a brain on her. Yeah.
That's pretty
I mean,
cool.
she translates
You have to-
Spanish poetry that I don't understand in English, and it's not. She doesn't take words and go, "This means dog. This means." She has
The
to take a
emotional-
weird,
yeah.
abstract Spanish poem, understand the depths
What
of
it
it,
mean- yeah.
then rewrite it in beautiful English, and none of the words were maybe even the same, and that
It's more like hieroglyphics than
it's-
language to language.
Yeah, it's freakish.
There's a tremendous amount of interpretation.
Yeah, she does tutoring and language and translation and
Well,
poetry, and yeah, she.
Perhaps, and this is, I can't believe that we did this. I was looking to find something, and I found it. Do you find any similarity in what you do?
Me and my sister.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm
Yes.
just looking at this, and I'm like, that makes sense.
Yes.
They're cut from the same shit.
Totally.
Word
we are
math.
both writers. We
Yeah.
are both language professionals, except mine is spoken and hers is written.
Mhm.
But it's
And
we're-
yours is but you're both communicators too.
totally. It's I find that her. It's just spoken and written. It's just we're very different on the surface. lots of the things about our hobbies and our interests and things that we're into. But as we've grown older and closer, we're learning that our core stuff is exactly the same.
Wow.
Exactly.
It's funny when you get older and you can admit all that stuff,
Yeah.
isn't it?
We're into different movies, but at the core, we are empathic language communicator people.
That's so cool.
Yes.
Well, actually, you know what? All right, let's talk about your material for a second. The stuff you were doing before almost seemed like you are drawn more towards, well, you said breaking the fourth wall. We call it like pulling the curtain back a little bit and displaying like, hey, this is how we do this. This is a pre-tape segment and this is an intro and this is, that seems to be something you're comfortable with.
Totally.
It's also a little bit more intelligent because it's like a show within a show within a show, kind of thing. What is your motivation for delivering your material in that direction, or writing material in that direction? I should say
authenticity. I love authenticity. I don't like artifice, and I don't like quit bullshitting me. Just be a person. Just what is all that, and everything that I do, from hosting a game show to doing stand-up to I try to do it from the perspective of the audience. It doesn't matter how I feel it's coming across. All that matters is the person watching and absorbing it. What does it look like and feel like and sound like to them? Yeah. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter how I think it is. It matters how you think it is. So that's a
communicator.
Yeah, I come from the perspective of the audience and go, how can I put myself in your head and work backwards and really connect and relate? Because I really just want to connect.
You seem very natural and comfortable here, and certainly even just meeting you before. Are you the same on stage? I mean, this is a stage.
100%. So. Yeah. I'm not different at all.
Were you always that way? Like from the start, did you have that confidence and that comfort right off the bat, or did you have to work towards it and get there?
I had stage comfort and stage presence. I've never been shy about being in front of a big group of people.
Okay.
Ever. You've never had that moment of like,
it's all that support he had as a kid.
Well, I get nervous excitement. I get like, oh, here we go. But I'm never like, oh no, I hope I don't.
Is it the butterflies? You mean?
Yeah,
but
I get that. Like, here we go. This is gonna be great. Oh, I hope I don't fuck up.
Okay.
But I'm never.
I
hope they don't see me fuck up.
Right.
I never have that. No, I've never had that like doom.
Right. So the butterflies are a good feeling to you because you know something exciting.
Yeah.
About to happen.
I'm. Here we go. This is gonna be. Come on, and get the energy going. Yeah.
Like an animal about to run. Like digging in.
I still feel it. My blood pressure goes up, and even now, even if I'm doing a show for 100 people in a little place, I'm like, I'm
still happy. Yeah, it's still
totally.
Get
Yeah. I want to. I don't want that to go away.
Right.
That's my.
Isn't that the energy?
How
that's
the energy?
The drive.
Yeah. I don't want to just go out and go, "What's up, guys? I don't care about this." I care about this. I really care about this.
So you knew that the whole time about yourself, right?
Yeah, I've harnessed it more. I've been writing to it instead of writing, oh, this is kind of funny and bringing it on stage. It's funny, but put it in the way that I'm funny and take a topic that I think is funny and channel it through what makes me good on stage. What is engaging? What is, what's really going to connect with people, and not just here's 7 funny words in a row. It's, there's lots of funny. It's funny in the right channel.
There's a tremendous amount of respect shown to the audience when you pull the curtain back for them, I've found. Because it's almost like you're a cop walking into a hostage situation without, with your shirt up going like, look, I'm not armed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not armed.
Yes.
I'm coming in here. I'm not armed.
I'm really here with you right now.
Yeah, it's us. We're in this together.
Yeah, and there are other comics who are the exact opposite who I love, who I absolutely love.
Dimitri Martin. The people.
Dimitri Martin isn't like, he's just, here are the jokes that I wrote in order. And it's not, there is a performer audience thing, but he's brilliant and that's his thing. I absolutely love that. But then I also love people who are engaging and look at you in the eyes and make you feel connected. And stuff. It's just totally, that's why I love, actually my favorite comics are this category that I call exotic animals.
Oh, boy.
And it's people who, because I am so not an exotic animal. I am, look how charming I am and funny. I'm going to reach into your life and be relatable and I'm your friend.
Yeah.
I like people who are just weird.
Me too.
And you get to just watch them be weird for
a
few minutes. Maria Bamford. She doesn't want to connect with you. She's an alien, and you get to just watch her be an alien for an hour. And it's wonderful, and she's so weird, and she's not, traffic is crazy, isn't dating weird? I'm going to relate to you. She's just her own thing, and I love people who are their own thing. My buddy Steven Wilbur is like that. Ian Abramson. Brent Weinbach is brilliant, and he doesn't care. His stand-up special is called Appealing to the Mainstream, and it couldn't be further from he's just weird and alienating and brilliantly funny, and I love those people.
You're describing, it sounds like everybody on that list, and it seems like this type of people who just aren't afraid to swim and they're awkward.
Yes.
Just like, this is it, but I'm okay with it. I'm sorry if you get uncomfortable. Like, this is part of my thing. It's how I'm most comfortable.
Chris Fleming is like that too. He's a YouTube guy who does stand up, and I've had him on my Friday night show a couple times, and he does his own thing, and he doesn't care if you like it or not, and he's not trying to come to you. You come to him, and I love those people.
In the old days, I think people used to just immediately point to Andy Kaufman, and I think that that's still okay to do, but they're between the fact that people now, that's a household name for one, and everyone knows that type of humor.
He's the touchstone for that.
Well, yeah, but also it's like, but it changed what's normal out there after enough time has passed and enough people have done stuff like that, more of cerebral type stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's like, is it a joke? He would do talk shows with a thing in his nose, like hanging out, he's got a. And then you watch the host try to do this stuff, trying to get him to wipe his nose, and then he'll do it and he'll move it back to the other side. Stuff like that. It sounds like
I love those people because I so don't have that. I so have the need to connect and be human with you and stuff. And there was this girl, Logan Gunzelman. She's so funny, and she doesn't care. She just stands there and tells her jokes, and she doesn't care if she alienates you or if she's just so funny.
Yeah.
I don't like.
So again, that's the comfort level, right? Someone who's just
oh my
okay
God,
with
that's
being
a level of
up
comfort.
there.
Yes,
Because
and
that's what everyone in the
on
audience
stage,
wants, right?
Yes,
they're envious of. Oh, look how they can just go up there and say those things, and they're so envious.
There's this movement in stand-up that is more towards that, because stand-up used to be much more pre-prepared. My wife is like this. Jokes. I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
Going down the list.
Now it's I'm a person, and I have these funny stories, and I have these funny observations, and I really like people who can really channel that and be so present and look you in the eyes and go, "Wow, you laughed really loud at that bit. What landed with you?" I want to actually.
That was a belly laugh. I want to know what's in your belly.
I love talking to the audience. I'm
really
really
do
here.
it live. You do it live?
Oh, sure.
So you're into crowd work? You like that?
Yes,
Me too.
absolutely.
See, that's why I can't do a stand-up, because I would want to do nothing but crowd work.
Do
That's
nothing
really
but
all I
crowd
can
work.
do. Well, you'll never get on Carson that way.
Not with that attitude. What kind of attitude is that? Todd Barry just did a whole tour of just crowd work.
Tour, yeah, absolutely.
Is it special like that?
TV
Yeah, it's
wise.
the crowd work tour. It was so
Are you
good.
serious?
He went on an entire tour.
But it's called the crowd work tour?
The crowd work tour. And then he did a special
I do
of like
love
the
Todd
best
Barry.
of.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah,
Nice.
he's amazing.
It's on my list.
You could just go and do crowd work.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And who cares if you go on Carson, you can't now,
Dead.
but you could just
You're
do
wrecking all of it. It's all...
I'm going to break down the walls and have a big breakthrough today.
Welcome.
You can do stand-up. Your teeth are great. I'm out of here.
This guy's amazing.
Come on.
I'm fixed.
Buy my
Welcome
book.
to Talk Show Therapy. Seriously. Dr. Field.
Seriously, go right in.
Yeah.
Man, you're very cool. All right, can we talk about your game show?
Please.
Where should we start?
I don't know why I answered like that. Well, I am one of several hosts of a live mobile trivia game show called Arena Live Trivia Battle. And it's twice a day, every day. It's like a 15-minute show. And it's,
So you do a live 15-minute show every day?
I know there are a couple hosts that all
I'm
rotate.
sorry, but this show is going on every single
twice
day.
a day.
That's
incredible.
incredible.
3:15 and 5:15 Pacific most days. Some days it's 5:15 and 8 p.m.
Okay. And the app is called Arena?
Arena Live Trivia Battle, yeah.
Cool.
It's really, really fun.
What kind of trivia?
Good question.
Well, that's the thing. So each game, there are two teams called mobs. So today it will be Tai Chi versus Chai Tea. And you pick.
That's funny.
Right? Isn't that
Yeah.
great? Shout out to stage director Mila, who came up with that. It was
Nice.
brilliant. So you pick which one's your favorite, or do you prefer Rihanna versus Beyonce, or peanut butter crunchy versus smooth, or whatever, and you pick your thing.
So that's your
And then-
team?
Yes, you pick a
Okay.
team, and then all of the questions have something to do with that field. Something about crunchy peanut butter, smooth peanut butter, or Tai Chi, or something completely different, or the history of when peanut butter was invented, or the word butter, or they spin it off because it can't be 10 questions about peanut butter.
Right.
But it gets more and more abstract. It's really fun.
Forgive me if you said this part and I skipped over it, but do they say the topic ahead of time?
Yes,
They do. So,
Yes,
so
yeah.
that goes out
You
to
pick your
people?
team at the beginning, and then all of the questions pertain to
Because it
the
feels like
theme
Final
for the
Jeopardy.
day.
Like, you wager an amount based on on how much you know on that subject type of thing. Like,
There's
I'm not going to play if I don't know anything about, tube
I mean,
socks.
that's probably.
Back
I mean,
to
you
tube
got
socks.
most of the time you got nothing to lose. You might as well play because if
'cause
you
it's
get all
all
the
free
questions right,
regardless?
you win. Well, you can pay. There are subscriptions where you can get extra lives and power ups and stuff like that.
But
a lot of people do
to
that.
play the game, it's not like it's not like online poker where like I'm betting $10
No, you don't
that I
put
can
money
answer
in.
the question
No,
in.
you don't put money in.
Cool.
No,
It's just multiple choices.
It's just multiple choice. Yeah.
It sounds really fun.
It's
Yeah.
really
It sounds like a
fun.
very cool
it's really
interactive
addictive,
thing to do.
and it's 15 minutes, so it's like in the middle of your workday, you take a quick break and play, and
How many
funny.
questions? Forgive me. I'm
10 per game.
Luddite. So there's 10 questions.
Yep.
And you play by yourself, though, even though you're part of this team. Of
So
Chai
yes,
tea
you
or
play by
whatever?
yourself. But the fun is if you pick the team that
Is the
at the
camera
end.
on and stuff? I'm sorry to jump
No,
in.
no,
there.
no.
Okay.
I don't see any of the
Okay.
people. There is a chat room. So I get, while I'm hosting, I have a teleprompter. I'm reading all this stuff, and then right beneath that, I have the current score and then the chat room, so I can interact with people.
Gotcha. But I mean, so for all intents and purposes, there could be someone at work with 10 people in their cubicle.
Sure.
Like, oh no, it's
Sure,
Frank Lloyd Wright.
we
Everyone
encourage
knows that.
We want big groups to play. It's way more fun.
Okay,
when
so it's not like but then Milton. It's not fair for him in
No.
cubicle 6.
No.
Okay, cool.
No.
Cool.
Is it live?
It's live.
The
yeah.
show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
so
really-
I'm fascinated. I can just see like having people over to play.
It's 3:15 and 5:15.
Yeah.
I'll plan accordingly.
And the other hosts are really funny. It's really great. I try to add lots of extra stuff because they give me a script beforehand, which but I try to just improv and add lots of silly stuff because just trying to have fun. So I'll
is
talk to the
amazing.
chat room and interact with them
Totally.
in between questions and
And you just go to that studio in Santa Monica
Yeah.
and the green screen studio and everything and just
Yeah.
do it there.
yeah. It's
That's
a
incredible.
camera, a teleprompter, a couple of laptops,
Because it's all questions and interaction. There's no props and sets and anything like that.
no,
You
it's
don't
just
need
a
it.
background.
Yeah.
And there's stuff floating around me, how many lives you have and your score and all that kind of stuff. So that's
Cool.
all. So we have a guy on the TriCaster, switch into questions. It's a TV show, but
Right,
it's
you're
a TV
doing it
show
like a
with one
TV show.
person on it.
That's so
yeah,
cool.
it's really fun.
That's so
if
neat.
you're on the team at the end, if your team has the most number of people who got all the questions right, your money gets doubled.
Nice.
So if you have a bunch of friends, you go, okay, we're all going to play on the graham cracker team instead of the chocolate team or whatever. And if you and a bunch of friends, if 87 people on your team get all the questions right and only 40 on the other team, you win money doubled. So it's pretty fun.
Cool.
That sounds
Yeah.
really neat.
Yeah.
All right. Well, adding to all of the things that you're doing, another thing on your schedule is that you host a weekly. Is it a showcase? Stand-up showcase?
Stand-up show, yeah.
Okay.
I produce a stand-up show every Friday night at Bar Lubitsch in West Hollywood.
Okay,
It's
it's a
called
Russian
Jetpack.
place, you said, right?
Yeah, it's like a Cold War themed Russian bar. It's very red with like sickles and Cyrillic all
gosh.
over the
It's
walls.
really neat, and
Yeah.
it's like a cool spot to get dinner if you're like. out
Yeah.
in
Oh, you
that
know the
area.
place?
Mhm.
Oh,
yeah, I used to
cool.
live down the street. It was
People
like
have
a really
pizza
cool
delivered from
celeb-
Jones down the street there all the time.
No kidding.
Yeah, they'll deliver to Bar
That's
Lubitsch.
cool.
Is it
Yeah.
the type of thing where like, there's a room upstairs and that like Vitello's here in
It
Toluca
sounds
Lake?
kind of like that. They didn't have comedy when I was there. I just went for cocktails and shit with the work
a
people.
patio where people are outside smoking. Then there's the main bar area. Then there's this hallway, and then there's a back room with a stage and lights. And they have
Oh, it's
music.
a whole
and,
comedy, like a
oh,
real
yeah,
performance
yeah.
room.
They
Cool.
have stuff there almost every night. So they have
Sweet.
bands and comedy and live podcast recordings and yeah.
What's this show like? I mean, you created this show, right? You're not
yes.
just the host of it.
No, I
you-
don't host it. I just produce it and I
Oh, no
perform
kidding.
on it each week. Yeah.
Okay.
It's called Jetpack. I do it with a friend of mine named Jeff Plitt, and then we have another producer named Jazz.
What night of the week?
Friday nights.
Friday nights. Jetpack.
And it
Great name,
is-
by the way.
Well, thank you very much.
I don't know even the reason, but Jetpack's cool.
I
you know?
thought it was a cool name.
Yep.
Originally, we were called Peachy Keen for a couple years,
Nope.
and then we.
too clean.
Nope,
Too
get it outta
clean.
here.
It's too clean.
I agree.
It
I agree.
implies clean.
Yeah, we changed our name. We changed producers a year or two ago, and so
Squeaky
we
clean
became,
is what it implies.
Yeah, that's true. So we have about 8 comics per show. We go from like seats at 8, show at 8:30, and we go to about 10, 10:15.
Okay.
We have a
Perfect.
host and then 7 comics, 8 comics. We like to have headliners who are cool indie darling type people: Maria Bamford, Sarah Silverman, Pete Holmes.
Love it.
People like that. And
Anybody
then-
you wouldn't have?
Wouldn't have Louis C.K., I'll tell you that. And
we had this conversation before,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'd rather talk about this on the air because I have a different opinion about it, but I fully understand your position.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything against Louis C.K. because you didn't like his comedy. It was like he's in the middle of a whole big thing
Right.
that you're like, we stand clear of that shit.
yeah. Louis did our show a couple years ago and was great. But Louis and several other men, wouldn't be exclusive to men, we would exclude women too,
Yeah.
in the comedy community have been accused and, you know, publicly outed as like sexual aggressors,
Yeah.
and they're not welcome on our show.
Right.
Even it doesn't matter how funny they are. We've had people who, you know, if we've got somebody booked on our show and we are contacted by a woman or a man saying, this person, you know, has a history of this and this and this, and it would make me really uncomfortable to be in the room while they're doing a show. They're not.
Did that ever happen?
Oh, sure.
It really did.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, there are several
With other people.
Yeah, there are several people
no
who
names.
we will not have on the show because trusted friends of ours have said this is not an okay person and they have a history and here are the incidents that have happened, and we went, okay, great, gone. It doesn't matter how funny they are. They can have
Right.
the best case scenario. They have a great set that night. It's not worth having them if like they're. You know,
and I fully understand that, especially if it's something that happens from somebody within your, family or
Yeah.
whatever ahead of time. So with somebody with like a Louis C.K., is that is it the same situation or scenario, or is it a matter of what would be the reason for a no? Louis C.K. shows up. Mm-hmm. Hey man, can I go up?
We can't endorse that behavior.
Right.
If
okay.
I were on a show that he were on and we were both performing, okay, but
'Cause
this
you don't
is
have a
my
say.
show, and I can't say yes, this is good.
Right.
Let's give more opportunities to a person who is like an accused sexual aggressor, assaulter.
Understanding. So,
You know?
and this is what I had a feeling earlier. I fully understand your position still. What I was saying earlier with I have a different opinion, it's not that I don't share your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I do share your opinion. For me, it comes down to, okay, well, what's most important? Is a conversation important? Is education important? Is getting to the bottom of exactly what the hell happened important? Because right now, nobody knows.
Yeah.
It's all hearsay. And
we'll
I'm not
never know.
defending Louis C.K. because
Yeah.
I think that everything did happen.
For the record, he is defending Louis C.K.
Let the
On
record-
air,
let
we're
the record
recording
show
this.
I'm
We're
not defending
documenting-
Louis C.K.
An apologist.
Was that enough to make my point, or does it not?
Will
even
you have him
matter?
on this show?
Yeah, I would in a heartbeat.
Okay.
In a heartbeat, because I want to have the conversation that no one's had with him yet.
That's the thing. We wouldn't have a conversation. He would just perform.
Right.
Yeah.
And I
We
understand
wouldn't go,
that.
hey, what the fuck?
But
What the hell are you doing? That's not okay.
this
It would
is-
just go, this is okay. This guy can be on the show.
This is where I feel like there's a hybrid, and there's a place where I feel like this is what something should have been done at the Comedy Cellar before we went up a couple weeks ago. I feel like somebody comes in and they don't just introduce Louis C.K. You say, hey, everybody, just so you know, I've got some mixed news.
Yeah.
Louis C.K. is about to perform. I'm letting you know ahead of time in case that makes anyone uncomfortable. Anyone who wants a refund, go to the thing. Anyone who wants to go to the bathroom for 10 minutes, do that. Smoke break, whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
But he's family here, and we haven't gotten to the bottom of this, and he's going to address some things, and we think it's okay. I don't know. Nobody ever did that.
Yeah.
Everyone just
Yeah.
sprung it on him. They're like, hey, guess what? That guy.
There's a lot of responses to it after the fact too. So it's like you're behind and
yeah.
you weren't in front of it, and so no offense, but it's kind of on you.
I feel
he
like-
went up, you didn't address it,
Yeah.
you didn't even acknowledge that it was happening.
And it has less to do with Louis at that point because
Yeah.
the whole thing has gotten in. It's a whole nother kerfuffle around
Everyone
the same
else
situation.
becomes the story about how they handled it. It's like
I thought it was really bizarre that, because of course, as soon as you heard, everybody went, he'll be back.
Yeah.
He's one of those people. He'll be back.
I said
his
that.
entire act is
That's what
I'm
I-
a terrible person, and here is the most raw, terrible parts of myself. Of course,
And these are the ones I do, and here it is.
Yes.
I'm jerking off all over the place.
right. But when he came back, he got on stage and he was like, "So bananas are crazy." It was like,
See,
no,
that-
no, no,
see,
no,
now
no.
that's what I don't know.
No,
I
no,
didn't.
no.
I didn't hear the
Yeah,
material.
Talk about it. He didn't address it, and everybody went, "You're just gonna act like nothing happened?"
And I
What are
wasn't.
you doing?
But I mean, did you hear it, or did you just hear what people said? Did
no,
you-
I didn't hear it.
See, me neither.
But every account I heard was he didn't mention it once at all.
I believe it, but you know your art. And you know that there's all sorts of ways to communicate that aren't verbal doing what you do. So I'm saying like, oh, okay, well, is everyone ready to just be mad at him so that they're on that bandwagon and they go, oh, yeah, he said all this shit and he didn't even say this? Or was he being like, so what's up with tube socks? Because that is so obviously his way of being like, that's the elephant in the room. You know what I mean? I wasn't there to make that judgment.
But there is an elephant in the room. There is a big, and he did not, apparently, if the accounts are true, which there's no recording of it or anything, but.
Oh, I believe everybody too. I'm not trying to say anything like that.
Sure. But the fact that he apologized, he wrote that apology, which was kind of an apology. But then to not, for the consequences of his actions to be so minimal, there needs to be some kind of, repercussions or punishment or something. And at least go on stage and address it and go, I was wrong, here's why, and now I need to educate other people on why you shouldn't be doing what I was doing. I set a bad example. But instead he was like, my toilet's broken. And it was like...
So instead of thinking he could just step out onto the Comedy Cellar stage one night, he probably should have gone more high profile and been like, all right, I'm going to book a Colbert and I'm going to talk about this shit.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree with you.
I've been, ever since it happened, the moment it happened, I went, okay, so his next hour is about this.
Yeah. It would have to be, right?
Right?
I don't think
he's going to go,
if he's ever has a shot.
Not, it's like,
if he ever has a shot, that's
You're just going to keep talking about grapes?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
There needs to be But
I also feel like it would be a departure given his previous stuff that he's talked about.
Oh, do you think? I think it's the same. I think he gets to continue. That's the only way he gets to continue being Louis C.K. Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I saw that breakdown in communication.
Yeah,
as
that was
it happened,
my fault.
And I thought about jumping in.
No, you're wrong.
You guys will cover it. You'll cover it. You know each other pretty well. I'm fairly
You're
sure.
adorable.
Have you ever hosted a podcast or done one of these things like on a regular?
I've guested on. Sure, I haven't hosted one.
But I mean, have you ever? Well, you host a lot of stuff on the regular, so you know what that's all fucking like. It's weird how it's weird how it's. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's a snowball. It's not like, oh, they're not just individual shows. There's the people that fucking watch the accumulation of all the shows, so they do see the growth or the lack of growth or the moods or like the, oh, she's that today, or oh, fuck, he's that today, or whatever. I didn't really anticipate that part.
He's playfully racist today with his Chinese accent.
Wow, especially with all the callbacks from the guest.
Bringing it back.
That helps everybody.
Confirmed racism.
You're an intolerant person.
That's my favorite. My favorite. Thank you, Jonathan.
I want to talk about your... we can't talk about them too much. I wanted to show them, but we can't because they're not out yet. But can we talk about your PSA campaign you just did?
Sure.
This is so cool.
They're going to be out.
So excited for
and
you.
I would love to air them once they're out.
My friend Brent Bishop is a director, and he has created a series of PSAs by comedians. Called Just Saying. And he opened this up to a bunch of comedians, and my buddy Dwayne Perkins, who's a brilliant comic, was a friend of Brent's and brought me into it. David Koechner did some, and Jay Lawson did some, and Kyle Kinane, a bunch of just killers. And
he's the Instagram guy that like switches faces. Kyle, right?
That's Kyle Dunnigan.
Oh,
who's brilliant.
One.
He does Karate
Different
Kyle.
Kyle.
And, it's Kyle
Sorry.
Dunnigan. Kyle Kinane is the voice of Comedy Central, actually. Coming up next on Comedy Central.
Oh, that's
He's
him.
a great comic. He does long form story stuff. He's got a trucker voice. He's like a skateboarder with a trucker voice, and he tells these 10-minute long stories, and you will be in pain. He opened for Patton for years, and then now he's his own headline. He's just a murderer. I cannot recommend Kyle Kinane highly enough.
Is there anything online that we can see? Like, does he have a special?
He has multiple albums.
Yeah. Oh, he does. Great.
Yeah. Death of the Party.
Sorry to be so disrespectful. There's so many people these days.
God, so many people these days.
Plus, you like all the ones that suck. No, I'm just kidding. They're awesome.
Brent had this thing where he brought in comedians to write and perform PSAs, and he said, serious topics that you care about, silly topics that you care about, serious topics with a silly delivery, whatever. So I did 3 of them. I did one about pay inequality, gender pay inequality.
Nice.
One about racism and hatred in general, and one about...
That's why you're so sensitive.
The second one is...
I'm the face of this thing, man.
Yeah. Well, the first one is I hate pay inequality. The second one is I love racism. And the third one was you weren't sure if I meant it for a second.
Yeah.
I know, I saw it in your eyes.
I was like, is he?
You're like,
No,
I could
okay.
tell. I saw the "is he" happen behind your eyes.
Well, because you're so good at what you do, and then I'm like, it's like,
like,
inconceivable
did
where you
he
never
just
know which
say he
way.
loves-
Because I know you're smart enough to do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, which way could he have meant it?
third one.
And then, did he misspeak?
I love racism. The third one is about I hate it when restaurants make their own ketchup.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So I wrote these. One of them, so the style we shot them matches the content. So I wrote one about, pay inequality, and it's about how men and women are humans, and how why would we pay any different? There's
Right.
no different. So we have a very like sterile white desk where I'm being very X-Files and science-y. And then the racism one, I've solved racism. I figured out how to solve racism. So I'm a mad scientist, and I have a Goodwill Hunting whiteboard covered with algorithms and things. And I'm okay, I figured it out. And then the ketchup one is just I'm at a restaurant dipping fries into hipster
They like
nonsense
it's paste
ketchup.
and water, right?
Yeah,
They
I
like
can't-
shake up
I
paste
can't-
and water.
Yeah, I'm very basic with foods. I'm not as super adventurous with foods. So I like making fun of when places overcomplicate things like ketchup. Like we don't need to. You're good. Heinz done. Move on.
Heinz just made the mix of ketchup and mayonnaise a thing.
Really?
Yeah, they're selling
What's
that
it
like
called?
in jars. Ketchup A's or something,
Really?
like something weird.
And you
They
didn't
could
get
have
some
done
yet?
better than that.
Really? Come on, guys. Although it is, you do know exactly what it. If they came up with a new name, you'd go, "What is this? What? Oh, it's ketchup and mayonnaise."
Why isn't it special sauce or Thousand Island? What do they call
Yeah.
it? Doesn't it have a bunch of names
When-
already?
yeah, I think special sauce is how we all knew. We found out that's what it was in it.
It's amazing where you can find yourself, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
Yeah. I was writing a stand-up bit about house ketchup, about, we make our own ketchup. And then I saw my buddy Ryan.
World's best ketchup.
Yeah, Ryan Dalton do his, and I went, I don't need to make one. He got it. Done. He's
Oh,
that's
he's
great.
got it already?
Oh, it's so good.
It's already
He has a
covered?
great bit about it, yeah. But I did do a PSA about how I hate it.
Who are your favorite currents out there?
John Mulaney.
Really? Yeah.
He's so funny, it makes me angry.
His the Netflix the recent one, the Kid Gorgeous
Kid
on
Gorgeous,
Broad-
yeah.
at Radio City.
Yeah.
Spectacular. It's one of the best stand-up specials I've seen in a long time.
He is a freak of nature. He makes a lot of comedians feel like frauds.
Really?
Because he'll do an hour. Kid Gorgeous, he does an hour.
That fucking went by so quick.
Every syllable is perfect. He doesn't say in an hour. He doesn't. Every word is perfect, and it couldn't feel more casual and conversational. It's so and his material
He's
is
a
so
ringmaster.
good. He's freakish.
Carnival Barker.
Yeah. He's a freak.
You made it sound like he probably definitely killed that girl.
Yeah, he's
So funny.
he had a couple
So
of bits
good.
years ago where he would use that tone, and that kind of has become his tone
Right,
always.
right.
But
He
God,
found
he's-
what works for him.
Yeah, and I've heard I heard Bill Hader and Seth Meyers and people who've worked with him. The first day or two working with him, they go, "Oh, you're the funniest person I've ever met. Okay, you write the script." Like they go, "John, we need a punchline for this," and then he says the funniest thing they've ever heard, and they go,
Good.
"Oh, got it. You're a freak." What?
He didn't join the show until well after I was there, but I've heard the same thing from everybody who has been in that room. SNL, ever any aspirations or anything like that? Was that ever in your?
No,
you
I
don't
was
strike me as a
never-
sketch guy, but
I like that, but
you seem to be a good writer.
I like to be myself more than I like to be characters. If today they said be on SNL, I'd go, hell yeah, that would be great.
All right.
But I've never need to develop characters and yeah, I don't
you
know.
could write for it though, but you like performing.
I would, I would hate writing for a show.
Really?
I mean, I would do
even
it.
like a weekend update. Like you could write in weekend update. I'm offering you the job. But I'm telling you, you're going to regret this.
Writing. You're gonna regret this answer on a talk show that Lauren Michaels has never heard of. Come on, you better think about what you're saying right now. Writing.
That was my first job, was working at SNL.
Really?
Yeah.
Doing what?
PA.
Wow.
I worked at all the shows.
Was
in that
it
building.
amazing?
It was amazing. It was
Wow.
amazing just to be there.
I've loved SNL since I was I don't know,
It's
8.
the most magical experience
Yeah.
ever. So
I was in kindergarten
love
getting
it.
in trouble because I was doing Dana Carvey as Ross Perot in
Oh, no kidding.
kindergarten. Like,
That's
I would
hilarious.
watch it and it just I get it. This makes sense.
So you definitely connected with it. It did for me as well.
100%. Yeah.
Interesting.
That was my one of the first like comedy things that I saw, and I would watch it, and the music of it made sense to me. I would go, I understand why somebody says a setup, and then the punchline isn't funny yet, now it's
Just
funny,
wait
now it's
for
funny,
it.
now it's not funny anymore.
Yeah.
I can feel that
The wave.
there it is, and it just felt like, yeah, I can hear the music of this.
That's awesome. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
I love
I'm
it.
trying to think. Was SCTV were the
I've
reruns
seen
on
2
when you were?
seconds of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
It was
I'm
the
sure
same
it
kind of
was
thing.
on. Yeah,
But it was repeats when you were a kid.
yeah.
Right? It was
I don't know. I
repeats even
couldn't.
When I was a kid, I think.
I would write for things, and I've written for things, but that's the worst part of the job.
So it's your voice, really.
I like
You're writing your voice.
If
so that
I'm
you can
writing,
go talk. That's the
but
communicator.
I can write for other people. That's not the issue. It's
No,
you
but
mean
your
I have to
enjoyment.
do all the work and then I don't get to get the laugh? What are we doing here?
Different.
This
Right.
is the worst part, and I don't get the best part. It's like making all the food and then not eating it.
You're out there making the connections with the
Yeah,
audience.
I want to look into the eyes of the person laughing and laugh with them. That's why I'm doing this, for the energy of the laugh.
Yeah.
Like I've acted in things. I
amazing.
acted on a show on E, a digital show on E, and like a scripted office style sitcom, and it was like, cut, okay, next take, and someone will laugh at this in 8 months when it's edited. And I'm like, what are we doing
If
here?
it lands.
Right, like this is
Yeah.
what the
Seinfeld
that's
used
what
to
I
say
want.
That. I think that's what he said before too about why he doesn't do movies. He's like, this is what it's all about.
Yes.
You write the thing, you say the thing, you get the payback.
I've
You know?
heard a
Right.
lot
So-
of comedians say that in interviews and stuff. Like it's just a totally different beast of doing an
Completely
animal
different.
versus or a movie versus stand up, and
Yeah.
it's like stand up's really like you know what you want to do when you're like it's 11 o'clock. I gotta get up. Like
Yeah.
you just have a different mentality about it.
It's really weird whenever I've done anything acting or scripted or anything is we do 6 takes of something, and it's like, okay, we're going to take that thing that makes you funny and then we're going to bottle it for take 1 and you do it, and then take 2, do it again,
Yeah.
and do it again and do it
Yeah.
again, and it loses.
I know.
It's inauthentic. I'm like,
But this is where I think that you guys are so talented with stand-up, because you're saying the same stinking material over and over and over and over again, and that's what I have a hard time with. And
I
it's not that
relive
I
it
can't
each
do it,
time.
because I'm fucking autistic. I can robot out. You know what I mean? I can do it exactly the same every
Yes.
time. To me, there's if I did it once and I know it's perfect, I move on. I don't mean like I did it and it's perfect. I mean like whatever. Even if I did it 10 times and I got it perfect, then I move on.
I really like the feeling of knowing that at the end of this sentence, this room is going to explode into laughter. They don't know it, but I do.
Okay.
And I'm on stage and I get that, like, it's like a little gift that I have, and I'm like, oh, you guys have no idea what's coming.
Right,
You have
okay.
no idea, but you're going to love this. You're going to love it. I can't wait. And so I get that excitement. There are several bits that I have where there's a really nice long lead up to the laugh, and the whole lead up I'm going, oh, you guys, you have no idea. This is going to be great. And I get to live it each time, and I get to feel that excitement,
Wow.
and it doesn't go away.
So you get to be both at the exact same time a know-it-all and Santa Claus.
Yeah. It's so fun.
really neat.
It's like I
You
have
know what
this,
I mean? Like you get that's a weird dichotomy right there.
yeah, it's just,
'Cause you're
it's
giving
so
and-
satisfying.
I guess it's just both. It's a Thunderbolt cable. It's like you're just doing. It's a both. There's a name for
Thunderbolt
that.
cable reference.
Well, what do you call that
Interesting.
when it's both directions?
Bidirectional.
But at the same time, isn't there like a?
Unilateral.
All right. Is that what it is? It's a communication thing. Like the synapse is firing in both directions at the same time. I feel like this
Not
is very easy.
bidirectional?
It could be. I don't want to get hung up on it. It's probably
right.
something really simple, and I'm the idiot who can't figure it out.
As though bidirectional isn't really simple. Yeah, you tap that glass. You
None
buy
of
some
it-
time.
I don't
Come
think
on, let's
any of
all
it's
do
the
it.
word.
It doesn't buy time. It gets you thinking. I mean, it gets me thinking.
I wanted to buy time and get us thinking
You
there
want
for
a
a
pencil?
second.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, that whole thing.
I love it. There's
It
nothing.
is. You are just a communicator by nature.
I like connecting with other people. I like putting myself in the shoes of someone else or a group or.
I feel like
know.
you're in service because you do this shit for the right reasons. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, and I agree.
What do you
almost,
mean?
I mean, like, it's almost like you're doing this as a service to people.
You're
like
one of
you're
the guys
providing all this positivity as a service to people, and you're doing this because you are. It is a fucking gift, and it's easy for you, and you're like it's natural, and you're not doing it to push your own buttons and make your heartstrings feel better because you didn't have a good childhood and all the reason the rest of us are doing whatever we do.
Happy. It's really as simple.
So it's such
as
a giving thing. It's like such a position of service to me.
Yeah.
Like it's so admirable
I
in a
have
weird
always
way.
been told that from when I was little. I'm just a golden retriever as a person. I'm like,
Look, that's amazing.
And I look. Oh yeah, I saw that
Isn't
while
that
you guys
funny?
are doing it. I was like, can I see that golden? Because I grew up with goldens, and I'm.
Oh, that's so
And I'm really, really good with dogs and
Yeah.
animals. And I just, oh, look at that good pup. I want to kiss him on the nose. Oh man. Yeah. Whenever, when I'm really good with dogs, strange dogs that are nervous around new people or nervous around men.
You can
2
do it,
minutes and I'm there. Yeah.
I'm the same way. I'm a
I look
whisperer.
into their eyes and I get you. I speak your language, man. I am you.
Is it just dogs and cats, or can you go
Dogs,
like any animals?
not cats.
Oh, really?
I'm allergic to cats, actually. I like cats, but cats, I've never met a cat that was as good as a dog.
Wow.
Controversial.
No, it's okay. I'm truly meant about like nature because I've got a weird thing where I can do the same thing you're talking about, but with anything. Like fucking, I'm like Crocodile Dundee.
Whoa.
It's weird as
Cool.
shit.
It's
And I mean
trippy.
like
Bugs.
bees,
Bees?
bees, crickets.
Yeah.
Crickets?
I fucking had yeah, it doesn't matter.
Wow,
It's
you're
weird.
like Snow White.
No, it's
Snow White had-
dwarves. I'm good with dwarves.
Yeah, right?
Jeez, buddy.
Wow.
Ugh.
a
Now
lot.
I'm heightest too.
Really? Just don't do a dwarf voice. We'll be all right.
Do they have voices? I thought they just whistled
That's
while they
a
work.
horrible thing to say. Do they have voices?
Those
Yes.
people?
And they are as loud
I
and
mean the
relevant
animated
as
ones. The
anyone
animated
else.
ones.
I don't know.
All right, man. I could do this all day. You're
All right.
awesome. I'm conscious of your time. Would you keep us updated on like what you're doing? All right. Well,
Can't
where
do
can
it.
people
Nope.
come? Where can people go see you now?
Where can they
At
get
the
tickets
Russian
for
joint.
In
Bamboo
LA?
Bitch?
And
In
just
LA
in
or
general.
anywhere?
In general.
I'm on YouTube. I mean, Google me. I have lots of my name is hard to spell, but
Is there a? You said it was a short answer for why it's PEET. Your name's
oh,
Pete.
yes.
PEET,
Legally,
like the
I'm
coffee.
Peter. I was born Peter, but I've gone by Pete since I don't know forever. And in early high school, I was at a skate park with my buddy Elliot, and he introduced me to his friend Ricky, whose nickname was Sticky for reasons I still don't know. And I was like, "Hey, how's it going, man? I'm Pete." And he goes, "Do you spell it P-E-E-T?"
Oh my goodness!
And I was like,
I do know.
"Yes, yes." That was it. Yeah.
You're hilarious.
That was an
true.
Elon Musk type answer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like it's so stupid. I'm just gonna answer
So
you.
funny.
Yeah, I was just like, "Yeah,
That's it.
that's funny."
That's it.
Sure.
Nailed it.
Yes, I do spell it like that. Thanks, dude. Yeah.
Starting today on.
Genius.
Yeah.
Instagram, all that stuff. Social.
I'm at Pete Guercio on everything. PEETGUERCIO.
Easy. Awesome, man.
So easy.
And
Thank you
get
for-
you have to get your that app to do
Arena.
your game show, right?
Yeah,
Arena?
Arena.
Okay.
But
Arena.
I have lots of YouTube videos of stand-up and hosting and everything. Yeah. I
Cool.
have a
So the YouTube
website
channel,
that
just go.
Yeah.
That's where to go.
PeteGuercio.com or HeyPete.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
HeyPete.com?
HeyPete.com. That's easier because PeteGuercio.com, people are like, how do you, what? HeyPeet.com. It's easier.
It all redirects the same place,
Yes.
right? There's not 16
Yes.
websites people
Right,
should
no.
check out.
Yeah.
Spend all day.
You're awesome, man. I hope that this wasn't too painful. Have you ever done a real talk show?
I don't know. Have I?
Well,
Have
I don't
now?
consider this one.
Oh, what talk show?
I mean, have you ever done a real talk show, like a TV talk show?
Not a broadcast TV show, no.
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 I'm just asking. I don't know. We had Carol Leifer here. She had sat in one of those before. You know what I mean? It was kind of cool.
Oh, cool.
I don't know.
I like that.
Whatever.
Changing of the guard, man. It's all an evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you watch late night at all?
I like Conan. I don't regularly watch anybody.
That was
I
actually my
listen
first
to Seth Meyers' A Closer Look when I'm in the shower.
Podcast?
No, the segment on his show, The
Oh,
Closer
okay.
Look. It's like a 10-minute weekend update monologue
Oh.
of, they go into one topic, one current thing, and I play that on a Bluetooth speaker off YouTube when I'm in the shower.
Wow.
Yeah, did it this
Hooked
morning.
up.
Yeah.
Hooked up.
It's how I get my news.
Really planned it out.
It really, yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thank you for being here and for being really cool and for doing what you do. No, I know it's not
It's
a big
my
deal
pleasure.
to you,
I
but
just don't know how to
Serious.
respond to that. It's my pleasure.
It means
for
a lot.
Being so cool.
I'm sincere, and I'll find I don't really. I'm one of those people who doesn't know what the fuck they're going to say. I'm actually really like, I feel like I'm an idiot, but like somehow I channel the things that I say. I'm one of those type of people. So it's like, just give it a second. It'll come. What I really like,
who talks anyway.
You're not a typical stand-up guy who just is sitting here doing material, and that's what I was worried about for a second out there. And you were like, no, I'm just showing you who the hell
I don't want to do that. That's for stand-up times.
But what you're doing is really good, man. And I just want you to know that we are totally behind you and supporting you. If there's anything we can ever do to help, we want to.
Yeah, please come back. Let's talk more.
Do you guys validate parking?
No.
No.
Okay. Oh, that's
all right.
Well, I mean,
then no. Then
just one
other
other
than
thing.
that, I'm good.
Anything else?
Other than that, I'm all good.
Where the hell did you park?
On the street.
Seriously.
Oh, okay, then we do validate for the street.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
If I got it's only 2 hour down there. I might get a ticket.
Let's see, Mrs. Ryan. Tomorrow we've got Skylar Stone, and I don't remember who for the rest of the week, but there's people here all week, right?
Booked all week.
Yeah. All right.
Can't wait.
And then also next week too, we've got. Oh gosh, I forget his name. All right, doesn't matter. Tell everybody next week. This is the Prepared Show. We're just going to call it the Prepared Show from here on out.
Here we go.
This is where you come if you want to be prepared. Mrs. Ryan, I love you very much.
Love you.
Thank you. I love you.
Do I get
Everyone
one
at
of those?
home. I love you too, buddy.
All right.
I do. I do.
So serious.
I still can't read you because I feel like you can't read me, but I promise you that everything comes from me
What
is
are you
actually
talking about?
authentic.
I feel it.
No,
I know what
I'm
you're saying.
letting you know that whatever, if you're having any problem reading me, I'm letting you know that I promise what you see is what
I'm
you get. It's
not.
actually real. Okay.
Are you? Does it seem like I am?
Yeah.
Really?
No, not in a bad way. I thought like I think this guy thinks I might be fucking with him, but I promise you I'm
not
not.
at all.
Okay.
I just wanted to be told you love me.
We love you.
I've never seen that on a game show, on a talk show. Well, I love you very much, and we'll see you guys next week.
That's exactly it.
That's really great.
How it goes.
And we'll
so
see the
great.
rest of you tomorrow. Have
Bye,
a good
guys.
night.
I actually may have a ticket.